All right, we're going to look at graphing example 6. It says graph each of the following. So in A, we're just graphing y equals cos theta, more as a review, and that we can compare it to B and C when we change the B value. So up until now, we've just used the unit circle, and I actually know my spacing all right, but I actually want to show the B value and talk about that. Not that I'd have to necessarily think about it specifically for y equals cos theta every time, but technically there is a number in front of here. The B value would be 1. And I want to show you that this rule works here. So to help us graph it accurately, we're going to find the period. So that's just the bell at school here. So period is equal to 2 pi over the B value. So if I put 2 pi divided by 1, the period will be 2 pi when I'm graphing it. And you've noticed that that's when the period 1 repeating pattern would happen. So if I wanted to know how far apart they are, I usually say therefore. I don't want to say equals because the period isn't going to equal what I'm about to do. So I sort of start over and I divide that into 4. 2 pi by 4 reduces to pi over 2. And that's how far apart my points are. So that's how I knew to put this scale. So let's graph that. I'll kind of point out the period once I have the graph drawn here. So cosine, remember, always starts at that maximum, starts here and at y-intercept of 1 and has to go down. And again, I sometimes say it starts in Canada and goes through security, goes down in the States. Now we are going to put arrowheads here because it doesn't give us the interval between. So we must put the arrowheads. So we'll keep that going like so. So it does go through those points. Remember, the arrowheads need to point kind of the direction that it would continue, so a little bit more down. So what I want to point out here on this one is that the period happens between a distance of 0 and 2 pi. So the period is 2 pi. So we'll know I went 2 pi divided by b. We have that. Now, since we've graphed this one so much, we kind of knew the period was 2 pi, and we didn't necessarily need to see that. But you're going to see in the next videos with the next examples, there's going to be a different number here other than 1, and that will change how wide or how squished in this graph is horizontally or stretched out. So it's either compressed or stretched out, and we'll compare the graphs.